Bruce Banner was losing his mind. Not all at once, in dribs and drabs, bits and bytes, thought by thought. Things he had been able to do in his sleep when he was 14 were now so hard that trying to do them kept him from sleeping. Equations fluttered across his forebrain and slipped away. Ideas teased him and would not coalesce. On top of that, he was afraid to tell any of the others. He couldn't stand the thought of once again becoming a dumb, rage-filled beast, or of losing his ability to speak, to reason, to be human, even though he was 8 feet tall, weighed half a ton, and could lift a 747 without grunting out loud. For years, Banner and the Hulk had been at war.
The war's over.
Or so he had thought. He had believed that the brain of Banner could exist in the body of the Hulk. But now, on the far edge of an annihilated galaxy, Banner's mind was decaying. And worse, he didn't know whether the Beyonder had done it, or whether it had been inevitable. If Battleworld was about realizing your fondest desire, it sure wasn't working out for Bruce Banner. He was sitting sentry duty and spending a little too much time in the slowly rotting Algernon-style interior of his own head. Bruce threw himself into the problems he'd been trying to solve for hours, and he noticed nothing else until after the sun was up. In the depths of the night, as the storm blew itself out, Thor made a decision. He told no one. It was his prerogative to make decisions. He was the son of Odin. He had witnessed the Beyonder's power and knew it to be far in excess of anything he or anyone else, immortal or otherwise, could muster. His group would have to consider their alliances carefully and cast aside old rivalries, old grievances, if they were to survive what was to come. And so Thor Odinson now stood in the lower level of the headquarters, where they were keeping the prisoners. Piledriver, Thunderball, Bulldozer, and Kang hung in stasis chambers. A little apart from them lay Amora the Enchantress, held in a separate regenerative healing capsule. She-Hulk had beaten her quite severely, and Reed Richards had made the decision to heal her, despite the near certainty that she would turn against them the moment she regained her strength, a certainty which Thor considered again, hesitating before placing a hand on the capsule.
Awake, sorceress.
Thor deactivated the stasis field holding her.
We must speak.
Amora's green eyes fluttered open. She sat up slowly, her long blonde hair unfolding along her back. Thor tried to ignore her beauty.
Thor! Have you come to gloat at my humiliation? I, a goddess, battered into the dust by a green-skinned mortal woman.
Nay, you and I are the only immortals on this world, or, at any rate, the only Asgardians. There are matters of which only we can speak to each other.
Very well. But in a place of my choosing, I'll endure this dungeon no longer.
Aye, but here or elsewhere, you are still my prisoner.
Amora had loved him for millennia. Thor knew that, just as she knew he did not share her feelings. She would beguile him in a moment if he did not remain on guard.
Perhaps. Come, Thunder God.
She opened a portal of strange light and guided him through. He did not know the place where she had brought him. It was pleasant enough, though unusual. The plants bore flowers that gave off unfamiliar scents, and the insects in the air around them had the wrong number of legs and wings. Thor put all that out of his mind. There was a pressing issue that could only be resolved by speaking to another Asgardian.
What prize would you ask of the Beyonder, Amora? You who are already a goddess. What could he offer you to compel your action?
Your love, Odin's son. For how many thousands of years have I sought it? How many plots have I hatched? How many lives have I destroyed? All for you.
Love cannot be taken, only given.
Could you ever give yours to me?
I know not.
Am I not beautiful?
Without, surely. But I have learned much during my sojourn in Midgard. The boy I once was would have answered simply yes. But true beauty lies in spirit and action, in matching physical perfection with divine deeds.
Kiss me, Thor, and I will try.
He might have done so. He had thought about it many times before, but never had he been so tempted. Amora's beauty was unparalleled in the 9 realms, and she was Asgardian. Surely something within her held the spark of nobility. and the history between them was old and strong, going back since long before Thor had first sojourned on Midgard. But at that moment, the earth shook, and Thor knew that he had committed a grave error. He was far from his friends, and they were under attack.
We have tarried here too long, Amor. Return us.